Let me explain a bit. Landmarks are not just literal landmarks. They're also legal landmarks. Those of you who are older, in our communities, not those in the river, right? Those that live in land. You know, before the idea of blocks came, how were you demarcating boundaries between yourself and your neighbor? Eh? There was particular types of tree plants that don't die like that. I know in my place, there's one they call abosh. Abosh. Abosh is a special kind of plant. They're quick to die. So if Deacon stand. Now, I acquired the property, and Deacon is my neighbor. What elders will do, the moment they mark out the boundary, they plant that abosh straight on a line. Here at the beginning, in the middle, and then at the end. That is a boundary. God is saying, let's assume his great-grandfather acquired it. His great-grandfather. Then his grandfather and my grandfather respected it. His father and my father respected it. Now I rise. I have money. I now have money. I now want to forcefully collect it from him because I have money and connections. God wants, do not change the ancient landmarks. Sit down. Don't change them. Because I recognize them. Let me warn us. It's that for those of you who are too religious, you forget that God is more than religion. God is not a Christian. What did I say?
That God is not a Christian.
Church, repeat what I said. God is not a Christian. You are not saying it well. God is not a Christian. Say it again.
God is not a Christian.
Then who is he? Eh? So listen. Whether the person is a believer or not, but has acquired that property rightfully, leave it alone. No? Don't do like that female Pentecostal pastor Waterline some time ago. That time we're driving against traffic. You know, when you are going this, where do you follow? On the right side. But this lady was driving on the left side. When she got to Waterlines, police stopped her. And it's just a simple question. Why are you driving against traffic? Instead of being humble enough to explain it, well, today I will tell you the two worst forms of arrogance. Arrogance is arrogance, but there are two that are the worst form. When you get any of those two, you are finished. I'm going to mention them. If I don't remember, remind me. Say, Pastor, what are those two worst forms of arrogance? But this lady displayed one of those arrogance. They were trying to understand. In fact, they were saying, okay, since you don't want it, we'll take you to a station. Then she said, if you don't let me go, I will show you people that are carrying God anointing. God anointing. Anointing to disobey traffic rules. That's arrogance. So, ancient landmarks could be physical, it could be legal, it could be spiritual. God says, do not do what? Don't change them. Satan, back to that Job 1:10. Have you not put an hedge, a wall? I try, I don't succeed. Against his children, I don't succeed. Against his wife, I don't succeed. Against all his assets, I don't succeed. Hand over whatever you have acquired legally to who? To God. Now, so wars represent protection. They represent, in ancient warfare, like I told you, anything inside a wall is protected from intruders, invaders. They are protected. So walls in the Bible symbolize protection. Now, broken walls. There are three major types of broken walls. Repair of broken walls. There are three major types of broken walls. Number one, broken wall in reasoning, thinking. When the walls of thinking in your head are gone wrong, your thought patterns are gone astray, you deviate from God's ways and pattern, the walls are broken. That's the broken wall of reasoning. God said in Isaiah chapter 1, come, let us reason together. Can we talk about this? Let's reason together. Let's talk together. That's an invitation. But the wall of your thinking has gone haywire. God is asking you to think this way. You are thinking this way. And you are thinking wrongly, you are defending yourself. That's the broken wall of reasoning. You have the broken wall of righteousness. Doing right is no longer a concern to you. You're going to a level in your life that righteousness is no longer a concern to you. You live your life anyhow. You don't obey anybody. You are your own God. In fact, your own standard or measurement of what is right and what is wrong. Then the third one, because of time, is broken wall of relationships. We saw an example in Ephesians chapter 1, chapter 2, where Paul talking about the wall of separation or the wall of hostility that was brought about by sin. And then Jesus came to break the wall. So relationships are broken. A relationship between individuals and God, between husbands and wives, between parents and their children, between siblings, between friends, between neighbors, between colleagues in the office, and even between fellow church members. Broken walls of relationships. Fathers in the house. The wall between you and your wife, has it been broken? The relationship, has it broken down? What about between you parents and your children? Between siblings? Hi. Somebody told me a story this last week. I've forgotten where. This last week. Okay, it was my sister. My sister was the one that told me the story. Very pathetic story. You know, I handled some cases for the courts through the Riverside Model Courthouse. And some of the cases that come to me are referred to me by the judges, by the courts to handle. Sometimes, as a person, as a pastor, even I tell them anytime, Reverend Dodo, well, in this matter, I'm not here as pastor. I'm here as a mediator. But when, after each I get home, I reflect and I shake my head. I shake my head. You have siblings, while their parents were alive, were in good relationship. But daddy, mommy are no more. They are fighting. So, then I thank God for my own family, my own siblings. You have some siblings, you have some greedy first sons, very greedy first sons, very greedy. Everything must be their own. They say, I'm after I'm first son. My sister told me about this story, very particular story, how you had this first son. No, this one is, stand up. You're not a greedy first son. If I use you as an example to tell first son stories, this one I correct first son. In fact, this man, before he even collect, I shared everything to his siblings before he remembers his own. I remember when his father died, the money he spent to Abuja, his father worked in the military. Back and forth. How much at the end of the day was it? After all this, how much was it? You remember that much? But you told me, I forgot it. You know, and then he now called his siblings and told them, was very transparent with them. After government that collected his own, he shared them, share. Some first response. That's the way you do. Hey, after not be me all the movement, we'll collect everything. Have your seat, sir. Have your seat. I appreciate you. I like first sons like that. But you have some family siblings. What has caused problem is that when you have greedy first sons. Let me tell you something. It's not good for you to have a first son that has nothing. I discovered that one of the reasons that first sons some of them are greedy they have nothing. They now think that their father's property will compensate for their lack. Siblings fighting. So my sister told me a story of how you have this particular family, first son and the other younger siblings. Before their father shared the property among the brothers. And this first son, this one on your own. In Igbo custom, who inherits the father's house? They call it Obi. The son that owns the Obi or the father is who? The first son. So he gave in ancient Ecobank called Obi, but has. Now, for the other children, he gave this one their own, this one their own, this one their own. The man don't die you. Years later, the first son now said as the first son, he has the right to reshare what his father had shared. As the first son, yeah. And then the last boy, he collected the house the father gave to the boy. The first one, I have a right now to reshare. So the boy, after appealing to now even the community dispute settlement mechanism, it didn't work. The young man went to court. But his brother said, let me see how you enter that house. So on the days, he went to the house secretly and did some incantations and all of that. Long after that, the younger brother fell sick and died. So my sister told me that the community are holding him responsible for the death of his brother. And say, let them also see how he's going to enter the house. Broken words of sibling relationship. I'm yet to understand, I'm yet to understand how brothers and sisters that ate from the same pot from their mothers, their parents, will begin to fight against each other. I'm yet to understand it. But let me tell you something. Listen to me. Are you listening to me? Are you listening to me? If you are listening, say yes. Good. Now listen. You see, there are different levels of relationship. You have relationship by blood. You have relationship by the Spirit. God respects them all. Now, there is what in the Old Testament is called the covenant of blood. What did I say it is called? What did I say it is called? The covenant of what? Now, go first. And please rise. I want you to listen to me carefully. There are rules by which God governs this world. In human relationship, that's what is called the covenant of blood. What does it mean? It refers to any set of people that were born by the same parents. They are bound by the covenant of blood. Let's say they were born by the same parents. This is the elder, this is the younger. They are bound by the covenant of blood. There are certain things they should never do to each other. They should never do to other people, but more so, they should never do to each other. It doesn't matter whether they go to church or don't go to church. Merely being born by the same parents, coming from the same womb, binds you to the covenant of blood. You are not supposed to harm each other. You are not supposed to gang up against each other. You are not supposed to join other people against each other. When you do it, you are breaching the covenant of what? Of blood. Have your seat. Now listen. If, let's assume as elder brother, younger brother. Remember, don't say senior brother, junior brother. No, there's not like in English language. Elder brother, younger brother. Not senior brother. Don't be a member of my church and be blowing by English. If you're related, is elder brother and who? Younger, not senior brother, junior brother. It's not in relationship, blood relation. He's not siblings. It's elder or younger, not a senior or junior. No, it's not. Now, so let's assume elder brother, younger brother, they had a very big quarrel. They quarrel well. In fact, they even said, me, until I die, I don't have a relationship with you again. Now, people now he has his own supporters. Make you no goody. After all, now you be the elder. He will have his own supporters. After all, your brother, they oppress you. Are you still listening? Following me? Are you still following? Now listen. It then happens one day. The enemies of this one rise up to attack him. And he, in tall, so he begins to rejoice for the downfall of his brother. He's rejoicing, he's happy. Now today you don't jam your match. And he watches and stands by and encourages, keeps clapping hand for the enemies that came to attack and kill his brother. God saw it, and God would turn against him. That's how God operates. If you like, go to the mountain to pray. Breach the covenant of blood. You have breached a code. It doesn't matter whether the person is going to church or not. You have broken the covenant of what? Of blood. Should I give you an example in the Bible? Go and read the book of Obadiah. Read Obadiah, the shortest book in the Old Testament. Just one chapter. Go and read it. You will see what happened there, sir. Is that when the Babylonians came to attack Judah, led by Nebuchadnezzar in 587 BC, their brothers, the Edomites, were clapping hands for the Babylonians. In fact, do you know what the Edomites did? They went further. Some of the people from Judah that were escaping, run away for escape, Edomites will capture them and send them back. And God watch them. The Nebuchadnezzar, who sent Nebuchadnezzar? Who was using Nebuchadnezzar? God do. So the Edomites were helping Nebuchadnezzar. Abi? So by the time the Babylonians have finished conquering Judah, they destroyed Judah and took away people like Daniel into exile. Edomites were happy. Let's see how they will be challenging us again. That's the prophecy of Obadiah. Obadiah, God said, for this thing you did to your brother, I'll wipe you off from the face of the earth. The day they came, did they ask for your help? When your brother was running, you are capturing. Did they ask for your help? Instead of helping your brother, you are fighting against your brother. Broken world relationships must be rebuilt. Is even here as a father, you have a relation, a brother. Remember, the covenant of blood is important. Consequences of broken wars. When wars are broken, three major things take place, at least. Number one, there will be vulnerability. You'll be vulnerable to attack. You lose your protection, or the withdrawal of protection. Ecclesiastes chapter 10 verse 8 says something. Ecclesiastes chapter 10 verse 8. Vulnerability is the first consequence of broken wars. It says there, whoever digs a pit may fall into it. Now look at the second part of that verse. What does it say? Let's read together. Second part. Whoever breaks through a wall, what will happen? You are vulnerable. When you break the wall, you are vulnerable. You become vulnerable because the protection may be withdrawn. Number two, consequence of broken walls is violation. You'll be attacked by the enemy. Once the wall is broken, You'll be attacked. That's what happened to the people of Jericho. The moment the wall of Jericho fell down, what happened? The Israelites penetrated. And then number 3 is vengeance. You have destruction by enemies. So in other words, there are 3 major consequences of broken walls, because I want to close with the steps toward repairing the walls. Now, the 3 major consequences: vulnerability, violation, and vengeance. And I want us to remember those 3 things. Anytime the wall is broken, you're endangering yourself. You're endangering your life. That's why, please, I want you to listen. You see, it's for us fathers, there are certain things we should never introduce into a generation, our lineage. If you never use your hand as a father to introduce a strange practice in your lineage. If you wish to continue to enjoy the blessings of God, don't introduce certain practices that will endanger not only you, but your lineage. One of them is going to bring an idol. Carry your hand, go bring juju to your family. Don't do it. Don't do it. Number 2, you use your money. Let me use your money to pay dowry for a Jezebel. Marry a wicked woman. You have introduced wahala for your family. Number 3, as a father, don't indulge in shedding the blood of an innocent person. You're opening your family to danger. And I can tell you, I don't have time in scriptures. These 3 examples I mentioned to you, the consequences for the people that did it. But I know you remember someone like Ahab. What Jezebel? The moment he married that wicked woman, his family finished. That's why if you read the story of Ahab, there's no child, descendant of Ahab, that died normal death. All of them. In fact, one day, 70 of them were killed. One day. Because of one wicked woman that was introduced into the family. That's why I repeat. All of you young men are yet to marry. I will say this, and I repeat it. Before you marry, propose marriage to that girl, find out her history. Where is she from? Who are her parents? What is her village? Where is she from? It's that those of you in urban center like Port Harcourt, you meet one another here. Find out who she is. That's why older people know in the olden days, you ask your parents to go and do investigation. It's not so. Your fathers will go and make. I remember in my own place, one of the things my mother told me. My mother told me. I don't know what your mother told you. But my mother told me that in those days, my wife is here. Before I proposed to my wife, I made inquiries. She didn't know. Even though she was a member of the church, but I made inquiries. From people that would tell me the truth. Some of them are still alive today. I said to them, do you know this? I want to marry her. What do you say? Awesome. People that could tell me the truth. You know, Auntie Mayor? You know that Auntie, you know. You know now. That at that time, we even had to go to Nembe. I don't know what Dambo is in the house. But my in the house, stand up. Her late husband We were doing what we shared that time in Nembe. My wife, we traveled to Nembe. And her husband hosted me in his residence while my wife stayed with her relations in Oblumambri. And I make inquiries. Then my wife stand up so that you know my wife? Louis, I will summon you before the Nembe people that are here. How you say no, my wife? Now, in addition to that, we went to my place for her to see where I'm from. I took her to my place. Then, in addition to that, Zebudah said, on top of that, we went to Lagos to visit her relations in Lagos. I stayed in my friend's house, Tokpatori. He stayed in Bimua's house in Surulere. Le Bimua. That's why we were living in Surulere. So each morning, we went to her relations' places in Lagos. So I'm not telling you what I didn't do. Have you seen my wife? So you make inquiry. You be a woman before you say yes. Not after you have said yes. Before you say yes. What did I say? When? When did I say? Not after you have said yes. Well, your mind was already biased. Say, please, can I see? I want, not just describe your family for me. Go to his village. Go to where? Did they hear me? Yes. Go to the man's village. Ask questions. Some people have entered into marriages of people they thought they knew. They never knew. You thought you know the man. You don't know the man, no. You thought you know the woman. You don't know the woman. Make effort to know who he is or who she is. Don't be deceived by packaging. Don't deceive by what? Even the devil can be packaged. The Bible says appears like an angel of what? Of light. The devil can package. And that's why you young men, all young men, if you are 18 and above, you are not married, stand up, stand up. You're a young man. 18 years and above, stand up. You don't know your sex. I tell you, you are trying to remember that 18 and above. Other men, I don't mean women, yeah, men. If a boy is not standing, if I meet you, there, meet you there. My sons, listen. Are you listening? My own biological son is among you. I talk with him, ask him, I talk with him. Open your eyes. China. But remember one thing. Choice of who to marry is not based on what you see with your eyes. The eyes can deceive you. I pray that you will not introduce to your families Jezebels in Jesus' name. Bring to us, introduce to us wives, not women on skirt. He who finds what? Please don't bring us women. No. Any woman can be a woman, but not every woman can be a wife. May God guide you. May you not be deceived by packaging. We always say this way. Please, listen, I want to say something. I want you to sing inside our ears. Sing well. Don't look at the dress on the gear. Look at the gear on the dress. Did you hear what I said? Boys, can you repeat what I said? Boys, I want to hear you. Don't look. Yes. Look beyond the physical. Mind you, figure 8 is not a guarantee or knowing how to cook. Have your seat. Girls 18 years and above, stand, take your own portion. All the girls 18 and above, you're not yet stand. I want to give your own blessing. Let them know the men. You get to think you only them. All the girls, you are 18 years and above, you're yet to marry. Stand. I want to give your own blessing. Do you have some outside at the overflow? Also, young ladies, listen to me. Our Bobby will not take you to heaven. What do you call it? What do you call it? Six-pack will not take any young man to heaven. Six-pack is not a sign of character. Some women that were looking for only six-pack, they don't pack them to their grave. So see beyond six-pack. After somebody said, why are you all making this about six-pack? There are no sensible girl who will go for a six-pack that is poor when there are 6 cars that are somebody else. You have 6 cars. You have 6-pack. 6-pack, no go shishi. He's yet tomorrow, die yesterday. He did look for 6-pack. Going to look for 6-pack. 6-pack can pack you to your early grave. Please also don't be deceived by big broad shoulders and 6-pack. Even sometimes, in fact, let me say, some of the more dangerous men are having 6-pack. May you not open your mouth and say yes to a young man that will kill you. Have your seat. Are we together? Now, how do you now repair broken walls? As I'm closing. The walls don't break. How do you repair them? This is where I will not tell you the 2 worst forms of arrogance. Number 1, there must be contrition. Contrition, a contrite heart. There must be brokenness in your spirit. Can you bring on the screen for us 2 Samuel chapter 12? Because of time, verse 7 first. Because of time. 2 Samuel chapter 12. Now, the context is the story of what happened in chapter 11, where King David had arranged to collect Bathsheba, killed her husband, and took her. Then chapter 12. If you look at if you wouldn't mind, go to verse 1 first. Chapter 12, verse 1. Go to verse 1. After David had done what he did, he thought that nobody saw him. As king, he had covered everything. Safe. Then the Lord sent Nathan to David. And he came to him and said to him, there were 2 men in one city, one rich and the other poor. Now the rest of the story is this. In the parable, Nathan told David, said, in this city, this rich man had plenty animals. But the one poor man had only, in fact, the only one he had was everything he had. In fact, he was so cool, he loved his animal to the point he used to sleep together, eat together. Then one day, one wayfarer, I like the way, he's a wayfarer, useless visitor. Unannounced visitor in the night came. Now, because in the ancient times there, in the Middle East, in fact, to some extent today, do you know that a host will go to any length to satisfy the guest? Any length, apart from sharing his wife. That they do in part of Uganda. They see the part of Uganda, they have stopped that one. They have stopped it, yes. Where in those days among the thieves, about long ago they stopped it, where if you visit your friend, among the thieves in those days, part of the cooler, they are hosts, he will give you his wife to sleep with in the night. So anytime you also visit him, he will also give you. that was how. In part of Uganda today, still like that in some part of Uganda, where as a mark of hospitality, when you visit a man, he will give you his wife. Unless you say no, he will give you his wife to sleep with that night. Okay, so now in ancient times, so taking care of guests was something very highly regarded. So this particular rich man, A visitor came in the night. He needed to entertain him, give him food. He had plenty of animals. What did he do? He went and forcefully collected the only one of the poor man. Then when Nathan told him this, he said, yes, that person deserves to be killed. Verse 7 now. Verse 7. Verse 7. Verse 7 now. After the day, hey, that person deserves to be punished. What did he say? What did Nathan tell him? The first sentence Nathan made. You are the man. It's you. It's you. Do you know that in ancient times, you tell a king that he committed offense, your head go. They cut off your head. Huh? You say, me? At that time, David had a